right? So if I want to put this data in a table, that means we need to keep information in a table. And get this information into variables or columns. So we can put this information in the columns. How many columns are required? What type of data we need to put in the column? So if you carefully observe all these four records, there is one commonality. You know what is the commonality? So these subjects in the clinical trial, they put involved in the clinical trial. When they conduct the clinical trial, these subjects or patients face some side effects. So now I must don't call it as side effects. They face some adverse events. The first one faces rashes, the second one headache, the third one is cold, the fourth one is vomiting. Okay, vomitings. So they face some adverse events. So we have collected information like this one. Now my aim is I want to put this information into a table. So keeping the information in table means keeping the information in table. Now see, so in all the four observations we have one commonality. Subject ID 1013677819005. I'll keep this information to one variable. Okay? I'll keep this information to one variable. And if you see this one, one patient got, what you call it as rashes. Another patient has got, definitely headache. And another patient has got a cold. And another patient has got a what is that one? Vomitings. So I'll keep this information in the variable, another variable called variable number 2. And now we have one more important information, tagging information. We have information like this one. If anybody has got an adverse event, when they got that adverse event. So we have a starting date. So in future, I'll keep this information to one variable number 3. So if they have adverse event, when it is started. In these four scenarios, all the four members have the adverse event is already got over. We have ended. I'll keep this information in future in your variable. And we have one more thing. We have adjective. So what is an adjective that we have? Whether the adverse event is mild or whether the adverse event is moderate or whether the adverse event is serious. We have this information. In future, I'll keep that information also into one more variable. Because we have same kind of information, I'll keep this information. Say for example, variable number 5. So, what we can understand from this one, when we have a similar type of information, we try to keep that information into one variable. I tell you in future, whenever we have any patient ID like this one, in STNM, we will keep this information into a variable called UES, ID. Do not worry about the variable names. I will explain about the variable names, but remember one very important thing. There is a variable called UES, ID. It will collect every patient ID number. That's the only thing you should understand now. Understand? No. One patient has got rashes, another patient has got headache or cold. Whenever we have any side effects or adverse event, in future, we will collect this information into a variable called AE term. So that means, what is that adverse event to collect? They have been facing with that information. We are going to keep in AE term, which means adverse event term. So, what is the main function of adverse AE term? It will collect every patient adverse event. There is one way we have started every patient's adverse event. Started in future, I will collect this information in a variable called AESTDTC. What does it mean? Adverse event start, date, and time in character. And if any adverse event got over, we have information when that adverse event got ended. Now in future, we will collect this information into a variable called AENTTC. So what is AENTTC? AENTTC means adverse event ended. If we have ended it, then collect that ended like this one. And we we have added to whether the adverse event is a mild or moderate or severe. So this information is in future we collect into a variable called AECVRT. That means how severe the adverse event is. Is it a mild adverse event or a moderate adverse event or severe adverse event? The variable is called AESEV severity. This is how we collect the data. So when we have the same kind of information, what we are going to do? We are going to put that information into few variables like this one. Understand this one? So now the most important thing, now based on what kind of data the variable is capturing. Now we have classified these nested variables into 5 classes. What type of data the variable is capturing or collecting? What type of data that you can keep into that variable? Based on that, in SDDM, the variables have been classified into 5 classes. Now, before going into classification, I will write one more example. The example is like this one. There is a subject 1013 has taken Dolo 650 mg twice daily from 13th January 2026 to 18th January 2026. Okay. Now there is one more observation. Subject 1897 has taken say for example, tell me say for example, Cetirizine 10 mg once in a day from 17th of January 2026 to 19th of January 2026. I have one more record. Subject 5672 has taken, say for example, Isofenol. Isofenol, I don't know how much you could say, for example, 2 to 3 mg twice a day. He got a very severe pain, so he has taken twice a day from 14th January 2026 to 16th January 2026. I have 3 records. So can you see what is the similarity or commonality in all the 3 records? The similarity like this one. Say for example, I am conducting a clinical trial on diabetic trouble. When we conduct the clinical trial, just imagine phase 2 study. When you conduct the phase 2 study, obviously who is the patient, who is the subject? The subject will be diabetic patient. Just imagine that. I have taken informed consent. I told you in the clinical trial how we start with taking informed consent. Just imagine I have taken informed consent on 1st January 2025. Just imagine informed consent. As soon as taken the informed consent, I will start doing the screening. Remember, I told you in the protocol we specify inclusion and exclusion criteria. Based on the inclusion and exclusion criteria, we do the screen. It took 10 days. So I told everybody, and on 10th of January 2025, I will announce the results so that I will confirm who are eligible for the study, who are not eligible, and how, announce the results on 10th of January. From the 1st January to 10th January, what this is called? This is called as a screening phase. What is called as a screening period. Now I announced the results on 10th January. So I told everybody, whoever is eligible for my study, please come on 20th. Whoever not eligible for my study, you no need to come again. So whoever is eligible for my study, everybody came on 20th of January. But I have confirmed that eligibility on 10th January. Now start the treatment on 20th January. From the 10th January to 20th January, this is one of the running period. Running period is a meeting period. If you have any gap between eligibility confirmation, treatment is started. What is this called? This is called as a running period. Once the running period was over, everybody came on 20th of January. On 20th of January, I did the randomization. So based on the randomization, I have divided all the subjects into two groups. Half of the subjects I have given study treatment, study drug. I told, what I did, after the randomization, we are being selected for the study drug. I have given 60 tablets. So I told them, you should take one tablet after the lunch, one tablet after the dinner. Please take this tablet for the next 30 days. Please come after the 30 days. So I have given medication for how many days? 30 days. 60 tablets. So everybody has come again. Since I started the treatment 20th of January, everybody came again on 20th of February. Okay, on the 20th of February, again I have given 60 more tablets. And I told to please come again after 1 month. Again they have come after 1 month. So this time everybody is coming on 20th of March. 20th of March. Everybody came on 20th of March. Once everybody came on 20th of March, again what I did, again I have given 60 tablets for next 1 month. I told them, this is the last, you no need to have any treatment, this is the last treatment. So, but I again said that everybody please come after 30 days, so I want to check how we are doing. So everybody came on 30 days, after 30 days, so I have given 60 tablets, so they came after 30 days, so now I have taken samples from them. By the way, after every 1 month, whenever they come, I will take the samples for the blood reports. Now after that I told, you no need to, take any treatment, but I want to see how we are doing. Please come again after 2 weeks. So they'll come after 2 weeks again. That is the final thing. Once they come after the 2 weeks, then after that they no need to come. So now, from 20th of January, they started taking tablets. So they have taken tablets up to 20th of. So this is the first 1 month. Again second month, again third month. So they stopped taking the treatment on what day? 20th of April. Now, from 20th of January to 20th of April, you know what this is called? This is called as a treatment period. What do you call it as a treatment? So once the treatment got over, they no need to take any treatment, but they are going to be some time observation. In this case, 2 weeks. And the observation period is called as a, what you call it as a? We call it as a follow. So, generally, in a clinical trial, in today's class, we have seen 4 important periods. What are the important periods that we have seen? Screening, running, treatment, and then follow. So, what do we do during the screening? During the screening, we screen the subject, we confirm the eligibility. By using inclusion and exclusion criteria, we take the samples, we analyze, we will confirm whether the subject is fit for our study, eligible for our study or not. Once the eligibility has been confirmed, so there's sometimes they're going to wait to take the treatment, and that is called as a run-in period. Once run-in period confirmed, we do the randomization. Based on the randomization, if they have been selected for the study drug, we will give the study drug. If they have been selected for the standard drug, we will give the standard drug. So, based on the protocol, they will take the treatment for 30 days, 60, 120 days, depends on our study. Once the last dose has taken, that is the end of the treatment period. Now, once the last dose has taken, from the point 2, there are going to be some observation period, and that observation period is called as a follow period. So this is going to be my study plan as per my protocol. Now, Just imagine this is a diabetic study. Phase 2. Generally, phase 2 diabetic study means who will come to the study? All the diabetic patients. Now, I am giving the treatment. There is a subject called 1001. 1001. He is a diabetic patient. It's a phase 2. Since a diabetic patient, he involved the clinical trial. But this 1001 is also having blood pressure problem. So he is having this blood pressure problem from 2015. Now, we are conducting clinical trial in 2025. Every day morning from 2015, he is taking a tablet called Telma 20 mg from 2015. So from the 2015, he is taking every day one tablet. Now we are conducting the clinical study in 2025. He was interested in the clinical trial. He involved in the clinical trial. As part of the clinical trial, from 20th of January to 20th of April, every day he will take a tablet which is given by me as a sponsor. Isn't it? For this treatment only, he involved in the clinical trial. But along with this treatment, since he has got some other problem, he will take that parallelly to my treatment. He is going to take that BP tablet also. But tell me, is this the blood pressure treatment? Is the part of my treatment? No. Along with the diabetes, this person is having some other problem. Further problem is taking a tablet along with my treatment also. And this is called as a prior treatment. So he started prior to my study treatment. Still he is using. This is one case. Imagine. And I have a second case. In this case, there is a subject called 1002. He has got diabetic problem. That's why he involved the clinical trial. So every day so he started taking the tablet from the 20th of January as part of my plan. Now suddenly on 23rd he got fever. I don't know why he got fever, but he got the fever. So to come out of the fever, what he will do? He will take a dose of CT or a paracetamol or something like that. So he started taking the dolo on 23rd, he has taken 24th, 25th, and he stopped on the 26th. So that means from 23rd January to 26th January, what he is doing? Along with my study treatment, he is taking fever medication also. This is not part of my protocol. This is not part of my study. Still, since he has got some other problem, to come out of that problem, he has taken some other treatment, say for example, Dolo 650, along with my study treatment. Now, this Dolo 650, whatever he has taken, that thing, the other person, whatever the Telma 20 mg is taking from 2015, still during my study also is taking. Now, generally, this information in SGDM, we call it as a prior or concomitant medication. What do you call it as a
concomitant medication
or concomitant medication. So whenever we have a prior or concomitant medication, we collect this information into a data set called CM. Prior means they started prior to my study. Concomitant means parallel to during my study started. Say for example, fever. Prior means example is the blood pressure problem, that medication. So during the study, some subjects, they might have started before my study, or during my study, they will take some medication other than my study medication. So if anybody taking other than the study medication during the study, we collect that information into concomitant medication. So here I have taken 3 examples. So subject 1013 has taken dose 50. Another person has taken cetirizine. Another person has taken diclofenac. Now isofenac. Now all these 3 treatment comes under what? Comes under now concomitant medication. Comes under concomitant medication. So when we have a concomitant medication, so the similarity or the commonality of all these three records is these 3 subjects taking some medication along with my study medication. So when we have such information, how we are going to put it? So as I said, This information we are going to keep into a data set called CM, a table called CM. CM stands for concomitant medication. But keeping the information in a table means we should keep this information into few variables. What is the commonality that we have? Here we have a subject 1013, 1897. All these three are subject IDs, identification numbers. In future, we will keep that information into US UBJID, unique subject identifier. One person has taken Dolo, the second person has taken cetirizine, the third person has taken isofenacol. In future, we will keep this information into a variable called CMDRT. What is the concomitant treatment they have taken? And the first person has taken 650 mg, the second person has taken 10 mg, the third person has taken 250 mg. This information will keep into a variable called CM dose. How much dose they have taken. And one person mg, and of course all three cases here only mg. Now this information in future we are going to keep it called CM dose units. One person is taken twice daily, another person is taken once in a day, the third person is taken 3 times in a day. So this information in future will keep into dose frequency. Dose frequency. And then we have information when they have started, they have stopped, this information we will keep into CM STDTC, which means concomitant medication start date and time. And then we have one more. They have stopped concomitant medication at some point. Whenever they have been stopped, that information will be present in CM ENTTC, concomitant medication, end date and time in character data. Understand this one? So, whenever we have parallel or concomitant medication information, prior or concomitant medication information, this is how we capture. So, you have understood one very important thing. When we have a similar kind of records, we need to collect that information into one table. Based on what kind of data that we have, we collect that information to a particular variable. So, there is a variable called uSubject ID. What it will do? It will always collect the subject ID or patient ID. There is a variable called start date. If anything happened, when that started, it will collect that information. There is a variable called end date. It will collect if anything happens, whether it's a treatment, whether it is an event, or it is a blood sample, it will take that end date. So now, what kind of information these variables are capturing? We classified these STDM variables into 5 classes. So in today's class, we are discussing about STDM variable classification. Variable classification. Very, very important. If you are going as a fresher or 1 or 2 years experience, you will get most of the questions from here only. Can you please classify STDM variables? So, we have classified STDM variables into 5 classes. So, first class is called as identifier variables. Everybody, what I am expecting by the end of the classification topic, you need to by heart these classes.